And that's right. How many days? What? 5 days left till Christmas for most of you. Most of you, you're counting down till tomorrow because it is Thursday, the 19th of December, 2024, in the year of our Lord. Here on the Rick Cast, I am the titular Rick. Thank you for hanging out with me in a Sea of Vapid podcast. Thank you for watching another one. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. And if you are counting down the days until your Christmas break, congratulations. I think that's fantastic. Some people gave me a little bit of nonsense yesterday. Oh, why you being mad at or why are you acting so crazy to the people who are taking a break and the same people that work in media and all this other stuff? Why are you giving them? Listen, man, I'm not really. If you're happy about your Christmas break, that's great. If you're happy and you get some time off, fantastic. But for people in this industry and in this space, this media space, I just want you to do me a favor and stop complaining about it, or stop acting like you guys are on par with like coal workers and construction workers and people in the military and people that actually are down and dirty, on their hands and knees working every day. And you guys are like, well, I'll get behind the microphone. It's just so hard. Yeah, maybe. So I hope you enjoy your break. And I won't be taking a break. I already told y'all I'm going to be here. The only day I'm taking off is Christmas, and I'll take New Year's Day off. The rest of the time I'm going to be hanging out with y'all. Because, I actually do this for fun, right? Hot off the press, I actually do this for fun, even though it doesn't look like it sometimes. I still do, because I'm one of those kind of people that needs to, I guess I feel like my opinion is so groundbreaking that it needs to be known, even though it's not. But I thank you guys for hanging out with me. And I'll be here all next week. The only day I won't be, because I'm going to Mass Christmas Day. I'm a Catholic, obviously, Keys of St. Peter, Advent calendar. I'll be going to Mass Christmas Day. So I don't do midnight Mass. Some people love midnight Mass, and some trad cats get, they feel superior to you because they go to midnight Mass and all this other kind of stuff. I'm going to 9:30. I'm going to 9:30 morning Mass, and it's going to be fantastic. Then my wife, we're going to come home. We're going to watch Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2, Just Friends, and it used to be Die Hard, but I switched Die Hard to Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve is Muppets Christmas. Oh, White Christmas. White Christmas is the last movie on our movie marathon. We don't have family near us, so my wife and I will watch Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2, Just Friends, and White Christmas. Christmas Eve, it's Muppets Christmas Carol and Die Hard, because Die Hard is a Christmas time movie. See, people don't get this. Everybody gets into the debate about Christmas movies. There's two types of movies at this time of year. There's Christmas movies and there's Christmas time movies. See, I don't think people understand it. There's not a lot of depth to people in that regard. White Christmas is a Christmas movie. I would say Home Alone is a Christmas movie. Die Hard, Muppets Christmas Carol, Christmas movie. Die Hard, Christmas time movie. Just Friends, Christmas time movie. Hey, what's going on, my friend? How are you? I hope you're having a great time. Thank you for hanging out with me, Timothy. Timothy. Great to have you here, bud. Thank you for hanging out. So that's the thing. You can watch both. Like I'm going to watch one either tonight or tomorrow. Fat Man, the one with Mel Gibson. It's a Christmas time movie. I watched Red One the other day. I actually think it was pretty good. I would put that in the rotation. Spirited on Apple. It's not bad. I don't have Apple TV Plus anymore because I think it's kind of a service for pseudo intellectual condescending jerks. It really is. It's like, I have Apple TV. Nobody watches anything on Apple TV. Nobody does. So don't get me that. While You Were Sleeping is it a Christmas movie or is it a Christmas time movie? See, the thing is, Christmas has to play a part, like White Christmas. Even Home Alone, mom, everybody's trying to get back by Christmas. And Muppets Christmas Carol, obviously, Christmas. Christmas time is where the setting, like Long Kiss Goodnight, is a great example of a Christmas time movie. It takes place during that time of year. Four Brothers. Some of you guys may not know the movie Four Brothers with Mac Wahlberg. I'm Mac Wahlberg. I'm really upset. That's a Christmas time movie because there's trees and wreaths and music and lights and all this other kind of stuff. Both are fine. If you want to watch them, you're like, oh, I like to watch it this time of year. That's exactly what you do. But yes, that's my wife and I. We have the movies that we have picked out: Muppet Christmas Carol, Die Hard, Christmas Eve, which I will be interrupting to do this fabulous show with you people. Then Christmas Day, Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2, Just Friends, White Christmas. Fantastic films. Some people will say Meet Me in St. Louis. My wife tried to get me to watch that once, fell asleep. Oh, yes, It's a Wonderful Life. Sometimes I'll try to sneak in A Wonderful Life if I can. It's actually my favorite Christmas movie of all time, it's a sad thing that I didn't even remember it. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time, and it's one of my top 10 films of all time. It really is. That movie gets you. It really gets you in the feels. And it's a pretty good film. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and I will be here with you guys the whole way through. So what do we have lined up today? I got 3 stories to get on your radar, just so you know what's going on. Then we're going to talk about Rand Paul floating Elon Musk for Speaker of the House. Interesting, right? Why not? We got Shop Around the Corner. I've never heard of it, but I'd have to check that out. I'm always looking for good ones. Always looking for good Christmas movies. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that you're here for me, buddy. And you know what? I'm here for you. All right, so we're going to talk about Elon Musk for Speaker of the House. We are going to discuss the FAA banning drones. We're going to talk about Luigi Mangione getting the hero treatment in New York. He's like the Joker from The Dark Knight in the way he's being prodded around. And then I'll give you my thoughts on the Superman trailer that came out today. Plus the 3 stories I'm going to put on your radar. I'll mention a little bit about the continuing resolution and the fact that that's kind of getting settled. They went from 15,000 pages or whatever, 150. They went from a wicked lot of pages to not many pages. It's my Chris. Oh, Batman Returns is a great Christmas time movie, right? That was with Christopher Walken. I'll throw her out a higher window. I remember when I saw that movie back in the day, that gave me a chuckle, and I watched it recently and gave me another chuckle. But yeah, Batman Returns, Christmas time movie. Really, I think it's the only Tim Burton Christmas movie too. If you think about it, I don't know about any other ones, but yes. So we're going to talk about all those things and more here on Rickcast. I appreciate you're going to have to work with me tonight because StreamYard did something completely weird with Brave and the access and all this other stuff. So I'm going to have to bring up every individual screen instead of one. I got to do it individually. It's not, you won't notice anything, but if you do, that's why. So let's get our first story out of the way here from Nick Sotor, who doesn't get everything right, but he kind of got this one right. Justin, right? Breaking Justin. This was at 2 p.m. President of Mexico said she is ready to accept illegal migrants. They're not illegal migrants. They're criminal alien trespassers deported by President Trump. This comes just days after President Trump threatened Mexico with massive tariffs on their goods should they not comply. Trump is still over 30 days from taking office and is already making huge strides in solving the illegal migrant crisis. This was a big deal because the newly elected female president of Mexico, who is very strange when you look at her setup, and I'll say it that way, was very bold when Trump got elected and said they will not be taking migrants and they're not going to be bullied by Trump. Fast forward a little bit, now they're like, yeah, sure, we'll take them. Same thing with Canada. I think Canada is actually more important than Mexico, and I know we're all joking about the 51st state stuff, but there's a lot of shady stuff going on in Canada between the advance of the left-wing agenda up there, and the fact that the Chinese and the Canadians are working very close, almost too close from a national security perspective. So Trump's really leaning heavily on them because there's a lot of stuff that needs to change up there. And so there's that. So that's the first thing on your radar right there. It looks like the president of Mexico is going to accept migrants from Mexico being sent back her way. How sweet of her, right? How it's just so nice in that regard. Second story that we have today, we are going to be talking about these next 2 stories are actually kind of frightening in the way I'm bringing it up, and it's because And I didn't get into it with somebody this morning, but I had an exchange with somebody talking about Luigi Mangione and the celebration that he is being put on the what am I trying to say? He's being put on the pedestal by a lot of people. And his actions are not being condemned by many people. And if you don't condemn this society-wise, if this is not a societal thing that is being done, you're going to get episodes like this, which is 2 days ago, a shocking incident occurred at Anderson Express in Muskegon, West Michigan, where a 32-year-old employee, Nathan Mahoney, allegedly stabbed the company's president, Eric Denslow, during a staff meeting. So because people are supporting the murder of the United Healthcare CEO by Luigi Mangione, and they're celebrating it, and they're putting him on a pedestal, and they're talking about how hot he is, and they're talking about how those CEOs deserve it because they're killing people, and all of these excuses, all of these things. They've given the green light for actual class warfare. We've been doing the class warfare thing. Oh, it's class warfare as a rhetoric tool for the last, 10, 15 years, probably starting with the great Barack Obama. Really took the class warfare thing and just put it into overdrive. Now you are into with Luigi Mangione, and somebody, the person on Twitter this morning said, oh no, it's not going to be a big deal. It's not a big deal. People will it'll burn out. I don't think you can say that anymore, man. I don't think you can, not post COVID-19, not post lockdown. Not with the way the American people are reacting to things. I really, really do think that this is the beginning of class warfare and civil unrest that will be marked throughout Trump's next term. Because this guy, he's the president of Anderson Express. It's not even a major Fortune 500 company. It's just a local company, and the president still got stabbed. And Mahoney was only employed for the company for 2 weeks. There's no clear motive that was established. Mahoney, by his fellow employees, is being quiet, having a quiet demeanor. And I think this is the actual guy that stabbed him. This is the guy that stabbed the president with his mugshot. He looks super happy. They're turning this into a Robin Hood type scenario. And here's the thing, it's not just big time CEOs, and that's the problem with many stupid Americans. Oh, it's only the McDonald's guy, and the United CEO guy, and the Ford guy. It's every guy that is perceived to have a power advantage over the supposed oppressed. And that's why words matter. And that's why they've been working as hard as they can to change the language here in these United States. And because we didn't knock down this rhetoric, because we didn't push back, and because, as somebody in our chat on YouTube, which you can join and like, subscribe, share, hit the follow bell. My people on Rumble, you guys do it as well. I'm watching you over there. When we allow the murder of hey, I'm going to say it, if you like it or not, you're going to know my politics. When you murder babies in the womb, everybody's up for debate. There's nobody who's safe. When they justify the murder of unborn children, what the hell's a CEO's life? What's your life? What's my life? It's meaningless to these people, especially when they want to categorize themselves as oppressed, which they love doing, by the way. It gives them a cause. It gives meaning to their trivial life, which that's another problem in our age, is that everybody's supposed to have a rock star lifestyle. Everybody's supposed to live high on the hog. Everybody's supposed to get whatever they want. That's what modernity and that's what capitalism has promised you. And so you get people who feel they're oppressed because they're not getting what they're owed or what they deserve. Did that president of that company, who's just trying to support his family and keep the business running, was he the perfect guy? I don't know. Probably not, because he's a human being. Deserve to get stabbed? Probably not, because he was probably going on vacation on Friday. But that's it, man. People, please, 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 if you're watching this show, just be prepared. And I know there's a lot of business where you can't have firearms. I know there's a lot of businesses where you're kind of just, you got to keep your head on a swivel. Even at work now, if your work has a high turnover rate as well, you know, I work at a gun range once a week. How many times we got to be worried about people coming in there? We don't know them. They sign a waiver. I don't know anything else about them. So just keep your head on the swivel, folks. It's not a great sign. And the fact, what worries me more is the fact that people just brush it off. Oh, no way. It's a couple separate incidents. It's not a big deal. It is a big deal. It is a big deal because these things snowball. All right, last story. Another one that is just really, you know, whatever you think about Nick Fuentes, I don't like him, but that doesn't matter. Who am I, right? He apparently has a following, and he's allowed to say whatever he wants to say. We do live in a country, a union that has First Amendment rights and state constitutions across the board. It's been reinforced time and time again. But Andy No dropped this today as well. According to his sources, Nick Fuentes' apartment building in Berwyn, Illinois, if I'm not saying that right, it's Illinois, so I'm not really too upset, was broken into last night by a gunman. 2 dogs were shot dead, and the man died in a shootout with responding police. The deceased man is wanted in a triple homicide in Mahomet, Illinois. He is a suspect in killing a whole family earlier that same day. And then Nick put this out there. Last time I played one of these videos, my video got demonetized or was knocked down from YouTube. So we're not going to play it, but Nick put this out. The killer parked his car in front of my house and approached my door with his pistol drawn and a crossbow. The dude brought out a crossbow as well. He rings the doorbell and knocks, "Yo, Nick." And so whatever you think, and this was the problem when Nick had an issue a couple weeks ago with some girl who doxed him, went up to his front door, knocked on it, and then he responded by pepper spraying her. I said at the time I didn't think it was a smart idea from Nick's perspective, because just from a defensive standpoint, and you can say I'm wrong in the comment section below, please. I'm happy with that if you want to have that discussion. But from a legal perspective, if the door is there, a prosecutor is going to argue you have some method of safety. There's also been precedent in other cases across this union where a man or a woman was in fear for their life and they stepped out onto their porch or their front yard, and then they engaged the suspect still on their property. But the police were like, you had a door between you. You had safety between you. Why did you engage? So the fact that Nick decided to engage that person, I mean, if he was in a different state, he would have been fine. But when you're in a place like Illinois, it's only going to get worse, which I think he's now going to leave. He posted another, he posted again on X, "I have to move my life now." Yeah, he does. He has to buy land in a red state that has a lot of property around him, that he can put up no trespassing signs. There's a lot of things you can do in red states to shore up your castle defense. Can't do any of that in Illinois. You got to get out. Sorry, Illinois is just trash. The crazy thing is, if we lived in a properly ordered union, Chicago and Illinois would have separated, and Chicago would operate as its own city state, because the rest of Illinois doesn't operate in the same way that Chicago does. But we don't. We have to continue to stay in this blob. But yes, you had the president of a small company getting stabbed today. Last night, you had people trying to enact violence on another. And this is the same thing that you go back to. I have to condemn Mangione. You have to condemn Mangione's actions, because if you don't, now it's free season on everybody. It's open season on everyone. And I don't care if you like Nick Fuentes. I don't care if you do like Nick Fuentes. I'm actually kind of neutral on the kid. I don't really care. Let him do his own thing. He's got a very loyal fan base of people. My only critique of him is he's kind of young to be giving out advice, but it's a free country. So he's allowed to do whatever he wants. But nobody, and it doesn't matter if you have same-sex attraction, or if you're Nick Fuentes, or if you're black, or if you're whatever, nobody on this planet has the right to take your life from you. Nobody. Okay? The time you meet God is of his choosing, not anybody here. And that's why it needs to be routinely condemned, these acts of violence against anyone. And so now Nick has to leave, and his life is being just completely upended, and it's really sad. And I think all of these things, there's a through line between all of these, from Luigi Mangione to the guy up in Western Michigan to this. And there's probably other ones we don't know about because they haven't been reported on yet. But people are becoming their own personal judge, juries, and executioners. They're deciding to reap out justice. And that's what happens when you have a justice system that is completely inverted and is not neutral. Some people say laws are not. John Adams, whatever you want to say about him, had it right. Laws are supposed to be the neutral thing that applies to everybody, rich, poor, and indifferent. And when they don't, and when they're not applied equally, and you can make an argument with me that they haven't been applied equally in a long, long time, and I wouldn't disagree with you, that people have lost faith in that justice system. And since they have lost faith in that justice system, and they've been told that the justice system doesn't work, what's the only viable option? Vigilantism. And that's what we're seeing here. So I'm glad Nick Fuentes is safe. Never an option. Shouldn't be an option. And it should be. And the problem is, because Nick is a controversial figure, it will not be routinely condemned. Because people are going to say, well, Nick Fuentes, you deserve it. Nobody does, man. Nobody does. So yeah, we've got some pretty serious stories as we get to the end of the year. And it's crazy. Like, oh yeah, we're going to leave after tomorrow. But we're all chilling at AmFest. I hope you have fun at AmFest, man. I don't know. Even if I was ever to be invited to one of those, I don't know if I would go. I don't do well in those places, man. I just don't. People don't, I'm good here. I'm good here with you. All right. Let's get to our next story of the day. One of our first main topics, now that we got everything else off the board, and I slaughtered about 25 minutes of time trying to get there. This one, early in the morning. I wake up, my shoulder hurts, I'm fat and I'm old. And I look at my X feed. Rand Paul floats Elon Musk for Speaker of the House. All right. You say it again? Is that a real thing? Yes. Yes, it is. Rand Paul is floating Elon Musk to be Speaker of the House after the powerful billionaire tech bit. Let's hold on. Can we not act like Elon Musk is the first billionaire to be involved in politics? The left and the left-wing journalisms and media have completely just ignored Soros and Warren Buffett and Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg and their contributions to different liberal causes over the years. But Elon Musk starts to do this, and now they're like, oh, billionaire Elon Musk. Yeah, he's not the first one to throw money around. So let's just calm down on trying to opinionate on that. He helped torpedo a bipartisan agreement on a short-term spending bill. A short-term spending bill that gave congressmen a $70,000 raise. A short-term spending bill that was going to build a new stadium in Washington, D.C. A bill that was just full of reckless spending. But it was bipartisan. Yeah, if it's bipartisan, that means it's even worse. So that is the class warfare. You're right, Brian. You're right, buddy. Why does this matter? He's the first GOP lawmaker to explicitly suggest Musk should be speaker, and his comments came as Speaker Mike Johnson of Louisiana is trying to keep his job, and it's under serious threat. Musk has already emerged as one of the most powerful voices in politics. Give me a break. He's become one of President Trump's closest confidants. Hey, man, I don't think you can discount the fact that billionaires can relate to other billionaires. Elon Musk is probably one of the first people, and this is all speculation, that can actually talk to Trump one-on-one. Because if I'm in a meeting with Trump, you're in a meeting with Trump, unless you're a billionaire. If you are, let me know. I could totally use like 10 grand. If you're a billion, any one of us is sitting down with Trump, we're at a disadvantage. He's a billionaire. He's been a president. He's da. So he has the power in that situation. Musk, being a billionaire, starting Tesla, starting all these companies, he is going to be the guy that can sit most eye to eye with Trump and can probably tell Trump he's wrong and push back a little bit, which is why Trump likes having him around. Now, let me say this. Elon Musk, I'm not a big fan. He's a futurist, man. He's a futurist. He's all about AI. He's all about the nano chip. He's all about all that kind of stuff. So, don't make it twisted that I think Elon is some kind of like savior or Tony Stark. He's not. But he's one of the few people that can actually probably sit down eye to eye with Trump. Paul said there's nothing more disruptive to the swamp than electing Elon Musk. Think about it. Nothing's impossible, not to mention the joy of seeing the collective establishment or uniparty lose their mind. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, a frequent Johnson critic, reposted Paul's comments, saying that she'd be open to supporting Musk for Speaker. Now, the Constitution does not specify that the Speaker of the House has to be a member of the chamber, though it's always been. What the hell does that mean? Though it's always been. Well, yeah, well, then maybe look where we are now. I'm saying, it doesn't have to be Elon Musk. It could be you. It could be me. It could be anybody. Non-representative names have been floated over the years. One time there was who I think was it Gates who floated the idea of Trump for Speaker, and that would have been awesome if he was. But Paul has long been an advocate for slashing government spending. Trump, in the meantime, has told Fox News that he thinks Johnson will easily remain Speaker if he acts decisively and tough. I think Trump is just trying to make things as smooth as possible, and another Speaker fight makes things more disruptive. Right now, Trump is establishing dominance, and he established dominance with the cutting of this bill. Trying to muscle around. And once you throw it out there, there's uncertainty in trying to change speakers, right? The idea, Johnson may be an idiot, but he's an idiot that can most likely be controlled by Trump. You open it up to a horse race and an open, who's going to be what, you could end up with Hakeem Jeffries if people are upset enough. The margins are tight. So I think that's why Trump's like, just keep Johnson. He's an idiot, but he's my idiot. Anyway, Democratic lawmakers are incensed at the outsized power Musk appears to have exercised. They're only incensed because they're not his. They wish it was Elon exercising power for them. That's all they're incensed about, Axios. So don't try to act like this is some kind, like the Democrats are some kind of moral arbiter, because they've never been. But it's at least interesting to see the idea that somebody that is not on the actual floor being floated as Speaker of the House. By the way, Chip Roy is a blowhard, and that's all I'll say. Chip Roy is one of those guys who has perfectly threaded the needle of pretending to be a conservative that gives a crap about his district and somebody that the establishment loves. He was one of the first people to jump ship on Trump in 2020. That's all you need to know. All right, let's see. Next story of the day. Here it is. The drones. Oh, the drones. Everybody with the drones every day. It's been 2 months. They're Chinese. They're Jaguars. It's the helicarrier. It's the Iranians. It's ET. Who knows, man? There's a girl I was watching the quartering stream today, and Melanie Max talking about how they're fallen angels. Like, what the hell is going on? They're fallen angels. Like, really, we are just going nuts with this whole thing. It's absolutely berserko. And here's the big thing. The fact that the feds don't know, or the feds are allowing this to fester, and they're allowing it to, I think the feds were hoping, and Jeremy from the quartering was mentioning this, I think the feds were hoping that we were going to be so enthralled with this that they were going to be able to push through that CR without anybody paying attention. I honestly think he was right on the money with that. I think this is the distraction they're pulling to try and get everybody to be like, oh, it's aliens. Alien Resurrection. It's the Predator. It's all these other kinds of things. It's the Flying Jaguar. I don't know. While they get through that 15,000 gazillion page spending bill. Anyway, from TheVerge.com, FAA is banning drones in parts of New Jersey after thousands of mysteries. It's been over a month, and now they're like, yeah, by the way, we should probably not have these there. All right, the FAA, the arbiter of all that is good, banned drones from flying over critical New Jersey infrastructure, which you'd have to be a little more decisive and descriptive because New Jersey doesn't have anything that's critical. It's New Jersey. Sorry if you live there, but New Jersey and Connecticut and Delaware all kind of suck. In the wake of thousands of drone sightings, for which there has been very few satisfying answers. The ban will last until January 17th and will block unauthorized drone activity in 22 areas due to special security reasons. Like, this doesn't help anything. What does that mean? What does it mean? Special security. So if I see a drone flying there, am I supposed to be like, oh, okay, that's a government one, or that's the Independence Day flying, or it's Tom Cruise in an F-14. I don't know. It's Maverick. Woo! Under the FAA's temporary flight restrictions, drones can't operate within 1 nautical mile from the ground up to the altitude of 400 feet. In the affected airspace, notice to airmen, or the NOTAM, on the FAA's website said the government may use deadly force against unmanned aircraft in restricted areas if it poses an imminent security threat. Once again, it's been a month. So I think they got everything they needed. During a background call last week, the FAA said the agency issued its first temporary flight restrictions over Morris County, New Jersey, and the Trump National Golf Course in Bedminster in late November. The latest ban covers a much wider swath of the state. I don't know if these are hubs, but I guess they'll count Jersey City, Elizabeth, Bayonet, Harrison, and Camden. I know the Coast Guard academies in the southern point of New Jersey. I don't know if that counts. For weeks, millions of people in New York City metro areas have traded concerns and conspiracy theories about the mysterious drones zipping through the skies, despite a lot of them are planes. Let's just be real. Despite sightings popping up even outside of New Jersey, government officials have little information to share. This could be a combination of things. It could be the FAA, the Air Force, one of these bloated agencies are like, hey, we have a lot of money left in the budget this year. And since Biden's not getting back into office, or the Biden regime's not getting back in office, we need to blow this money. So get these drones in the air, and we just got to blow this money. Just go. Just use it up. You also have the fact that it's Christmas time, and the government, like, there's 5 people working right now. Everybody else is on vacation or anything else. And so there's 5 interns at all these major places running around, exchanging bagels and coffee. And they're like, I don't know what to do. And it's just a mess. All it is, it's just a joke. We want to talk about the vaulted military industrial complex and the massive security industrial complex with DHS and all that stuff. Look what they've done the last month. They've all been like, I don't know. What do you think? I don't know what you think. Okay, whatever. But thank you, FAA, for the swift and speedy response in banning the drones over New Jersey after about a month. Welcome to Rickcast, ladies and gentlemen. I am the aforementioned Rick. I have 180 of you hanging out with me tonight. 181 of my very close friends. We got 6 people watching on YouTube. That's actually pretty impressive. So cheers to all of you. I hope you're having a wonderful December. I hope you got all your Christmas shopping done. I hope everything's set so there's not that much stress. I know this time of year gets just awful with people and shipping and all this stuff. But I hope it's going well for you. If you like what we're doing here, follow me on the X Machine, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell on the YouTube or on Rumble. I'll see you over there. And we can continue to expand the program. All right. Next up, Luigi Mangione. Apparently, this guy's getting the rock star treatment everywhere he goes. Guy looks like the Joker in The Dark Knight with this escort. But here you go. Here's the whole thing. Look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got guys with AR, front, back, side. Got the jumpsuit. Got other guys. I think Mayor Adams is back here somewhere, which, why the hell is Mayor Adams that close to this dude? Parading him out in front of everybody? Is this supposed to be, like, impressive? It's just a spectacle. Whatever happened to, like, driving these guys, putting them in the back of a Brinks truck, driving, like, we saw this in both The Dark Knight and even the guys in Mission Impossible got it right. You put them in the back of an armored car and you drive them up to the front. You don't parade them out for everybody to see. All this does. Oh, there you couldn't. I'm sorry, was there a restriction? You couldn't park the armored car that close to the dock? I don't like this stuff, man. I don't like any of this, because all it does is continue to make this guy a story. It continues to make this guy a celebrity. Anyway, this is from MSNBC.com's sourcing the Daily Beast. So this will be a fawning recollection. Mangione's return to New York City was more befitting of a president or a pope. Let's calm that down, Daily Beast. Than the suspected assassin. A little more than 2 weeks after his alleged, quote unquote, to have gunned down the chief executive for the nation's largest health insurer in Midtown Manhattan, the curly-haired, sharp-jawed former Ivy. Like, what are you writing? This is like fan fiction. This is like a step in for 50 Shades of Grey. The curly-haired, sharp-jawed former Ivy Leaguer. I'm like, what? He doesn't need all those qualifiers. Freshly extracted from Pennsylvania, Mangione appeared handcuffed in a prison-issued orange jumpsuit. He was immediately swarmed by dozens of law enforcement. Okay, I can't read this. This is literally like bad fan fiction. Get out of here. We're done. We're done. I can't do that. He was swarmed by the police and they're muscly out. Okay. Easy. It's funny. All these women who are pansexuals all of a sudden discover their lady parts again after they saw him. He single-handedly ended all that. He ended all those non-genders. Blah. Get out of here, man. No thanks. Give me, please. It's gross. That's all I got. I'm not even going to get into that story. I read it the first time. I didn't realize how bad it was, but it's bad. The fact that let me take this time, the rest of the segment, to talk about how giving him the pass and treating him like the rock star that they are apparently treating him like, putting him on par with a president or a pope, which is what they're doing when they write that. It gives the okay for other people. It says, hey, if you want to take out a somebody who is an oppressor, we'll love you for it. There's an entire section. He's right. He fixed everybody's mental disorders. Fixed all of them. And it's gross. And it's lawlessness. And it's something that cannot sustain itself. Only chaos comes from this. And these people who feign the empathy for the oppressed, who feign empathy for anything. We touched on it earlier. If you're just joining us here in Rickcast, they feign empathy for mothers and or victims, and everything's a victim, and everybody's being oppressed, and everybody's civil rights are being taken away. But when they champion the murder of babies in the womb, and then they champion and deify, because I don't know if you've seen the blasphemous candles. I'm not going to show you. In the Catholic Church, we have the candles with Our Lady of Guadalupe and St. Joseph and our Lord and Savior on them. And they have ones with like St. Fauci and the fat lady from Georgia. And now they have, quote unquote, St. Luigi, the deification of their idols. And that's right. This right here is what I'm trying to say, but it's a lot more condensed. This is a great way to foment the chaos that they got in 2020. Remember in 2020 with Derek Chauvin and the Summer of Love? They got chaos there, and they were looking for another way. They thought they could maybe do it with Jordan Neely. Black Lives Matter kind of showed up after that case, and everybody was like, ah, and everybody, and most people were like, go away. No, we're not doing that again. This one, I think they feel they got right. And the thing that scares me or makes me a little concerned is the fact that people on the left and on the right are twisting themselves into knots saying, oh, well, I mean, healthcare is so expensive. And it's just, and we already talked about this the first time. It's just so bad. In a way, twisting themselves out to be victims. If you complain about health insurance, you are victimizing yourself. You want to complain about health insurance? Go to Nicaragua. Go to Somalia. Go to South Africa. Go to any of these places with vault. I made the joke when I was in Rome last month and I had a bad sinus infection. I walked in and they gave me decongestant and they gave me 2 boxes of cough drops for free. I looked at my wife and I made the joke. I said, this is why no wonder the Italians love their healthcare, because they gave me 2 boxes of cough drops, which worked really well, by the way. But if you really want to complain about healthcare, go somewhere else. Go to Mexico. Go to these places and expect to be taken care of. You know, we talked about it that day, and we talked about the options you have and the alternatives that you have. And the fact is, yeah, it's not perfect here, but guess what? It's not perfect anywhere. And when you victimize yourself and when you put yourself into that position, which a lot of people, left, right, Catholics and non-Catholics, are all saying, you know, I kind of related to what Luigi did when I saw him shoot the guy. What? You could relate to what he did? You were okay with what he did? And that's the first step to lawlessness. That's the first step to chaos. You can never, and I am literally the armed Catholic. That's my mascot. I'm a mascot. It's not the official name of my organization. My organization is L1122 Strategies. But I am the Catholic gun guy. And in my book, I make it clear that vengeance and self-defense are 2 totally different concepts that cannot be conflated. Ever. And I have to look at Catholics saying, you know, I kind of see what he did. That's evil, man. You can never justify the murder. Murder and self-defense are 2 different things, which is why I can say it. You can never justify murder. You can justify self-defense, but you can never justify murder. And all of the stuff that is being what was the website called? It was a crappy Tumblr. The Tumblrization of Luigi Mangione with all these fan drawings and all these other things and the fawning over him and the puff pieces about him and the fact that he's going to be drooled over like a rock star during this trial. All of it is bad news. And it's going to lead to stuff that happened in Michigan with that guy who stabbed the president of a small company. Just because, I guess he deserved it, right? Or the fact that people are feeling emboldened enough to go up to Nick Fuentes' house and try to kill him. Of course, it's not the first time. Remember, they tried to do it to Tucker Carlson? While he was on air, they went to his house and tried to break in his door with his family at home. Never embrace chaos. Never. You can't. Oh, hey, man. Appreciate it. This person, MK Ultra Pagolin, which if you know me, know I can't say stuff. You're welcome, man. I'm happy for you hanging out with me during Advent and Christmas. And I appreciate you liking the book, man. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Viva Cristo Rey to you, my friend. Yeah, I appreciate anybody who likes the book. And if you don't want to know what I'm talking about, I'm obviously going to plug it right now because somebody was nice enough to do that. The book is The Armed Catholic for Guns. And that's Trump dancing. That's not it. The Armed Catholic, the Catholic Case for Guns and Self-Defense, which you can get on Amazon right now. That is The Armed Catholic, the Catholic Case for Guns and Self-Defense. It's 75 pages long. It's a guide. It's a literal guide. It is not an in-depth book. It is a guide. But you cannot justify murder. You cannot justify death. I'm sorry. You cannot murder, death, kills, right? You can't justify them. So it's going to get bad. It's going to get worse as we go through this trial. And we've already got one. I'm not going to put the Fuentes thing. That I think Nick's, he's been walking down that road for a while, and I'm glad he's okay. But the actual targeting of business, this is also a free market thing, right? The left hates business owners and property owners and all those kinds of things. So they've gotten the green light with Mangione to go after all those kinds of people who own property, people who own business, people who have any of those kinds of things, because they all should belong to the community, right? Because if you own property, if you own a business, you're an oppressor. The guy who's struggling to pay his 5 employees at his business is now the oppressor because they want you what you have. And they'll use force to get it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Those are all the news stories. So we're going to end on a little bit of a lighter note because it's nice to do that. Last story of the day. Let me get it set up because I am the bastion of being prepared. I actually am. It's just I have to get this stuff ready. So they teased it. They did a teaser trailer on Tuesday, and then they had James Gunn do a thing on Wednesday, and then today it dropped earlier this morning. We're not going to watch the trailer because I saw other people's channels get demonetized in real time, but I will play it in the background, YouTube. So this is the Superman trailer. And I'll tell you, this movie has a lot of baggage around it. Because of the Snyderverse and the Snyder Bros and all that. And the fact that America is actually too cynical for somebody like a Superman character, somebody who's supposed to be good. And what you get from this trailer, it's on YouTube, it's on Rumble, it's on X, you can find it. I think Gunn was going for a hopeful tone in this film. I don't know why Superman's dad is fat, but it is what it is. And I think he strikes it really well. He does. Brett Dasovic from Pop Culture Crisis mentioned this, and I've watched it a couple more times since he said this. This film does feel very crowded. It has what Iron Man 2, all the way back in the day. There's Crypto. Crypto's an actual comic book character. The dog Crypto, who is going to make a lot of money for Warner Brothers in toy sales. But you have Superman saving kids. There's Lex Luthor, who looks pretty good. You have this stuff. You have the questions about worshiping a guy, something like Superman versus not. You have a terrible haircut. You got a lot of other ancillary characters that people feel like it's a little bit too much too soon. But we'll see. It at least looks like it's trying to take this with as much sincerity as possible. By the way, it's interesting to see like 2 white people in a relationship, right? That's how crazy it is. Like, look, it's 2 white people who are heterosexuals who are actually looks like they're in a healthy relationship, and it's not race swapped or weird or have any kind of ultra weird messages or whatever the case may be. So you can watch it for yourself. It is what it is as far as the colors. I was not a big fan of the colors. I've become more adapted to it as time has gone on. So it seems fine. I don't know. Many of you in the audience don't like to go to films anymore because it's a waste of time and money, and I get it. I don't know what it would take to get you back into a theater, if you could at all. But with this movie, I know a lot of problems with the property because of the Snyderverse and the fact that we are just strung out from so many bad Marvel movies and the woke agenda pushed in there. This one does not look like, at least from the trailer. A trailer can be a very lie. You can lie a lot in a trailer. Doesn't look like there's any particular ideology that's being pushed in there. Now, it could be. Maybe they're not on the first one, but maybe ones to go. I don't know. But people have been burnt out on this genre, the Superman genre. They've been burnt out on people like James Gunn because that it would be that's interesting. Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow would get you back into the theater. I could get behind that. A major raise and a reliable babysitter. Well, my man Brian's got like 14 kids, so he's trying to repopulate the earth himself, which I'm down with. Get him, my brother. But the idea is that the film industry overall is in a bad way with 10 years of woke agenda, terrible film, poor quality, Marvel, and all this other kind of stuff. So a lot of people are looking to this film. James Gunn is a pretty reliable director and has a good vision. And so, hey, is this going to be it? Could this be the start of a departure from woke ideology driven films? Maybe, maybe not. But I think a lot of people are saying I might go see it. It looks okay. Where they felt, hey, you need to come out swinging, and this thing needs to absolutely crush it. But who knows? There's a full trailer that's got to come out. It's not coming out to July, so there's plenty of time to build excitement. But there's at least a lot of excitement initially to see what the product could potentially be. Red One was on Amazon Prime almost at the same time as cinema release, kind of like watching at home now, but we go to theaters for IMAX. Yeah, I waited till Red One came on. Red One came on. Well, Red One was always made to go on Amazon. That's what people don't get. You know, they put it in theaters for a couple weeks to try and get some money around Thanksgiving because it's that time. But it was always designed to be on Amazon Prime right now, this time of year. I think they're telling you got 50 million views or whatever the case may be. It was always made to be an Amazon product. That's it. So the metrics, I think you're going to get a second one because it looks like it was successful enough for them. They might have to trim down the budget on the second one, but we'll see. I don't know. IMAX doesn't do it for me, but who cares what I think? IMAX doesn't really do it for me. What would take for me to go back to see a movie? I don't know. I might, since I have the week off, I might go see Homestead, the one from Angel Studios next week. If I do, I'll try to drop a review of it. But I might go see Homestead next week if I have time. And that's always whatever. I might go see it if I have time. And that's the problem, is that people don't have it. There's a theater near me where somebody's asking, can I drink beer and barbecue at the theater? Well, there's a theater near me that doesn't do alcohol. There are some theaters that do alcohol, but the one near me doesn't do alcohol. It does like burgers and pizza and stuff like that, which I like. I don't drink, so the alcohol portion doesn't really bother me. But could be, who knows? So let me know what you think of the Superman trailer in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about any of these stories in the comment section down below. As we wrap up today's show, please like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell so we can continue to get the show and get I mean, obviously numbers are a big deal for people because you want people to watch. I'm happy with the numbers right now, guys, especially this time of year. 200 of you guys are hanging out with me. That's super cool. I love it. I really do enjoy it. And but just still hit the follow button so that way you can get my awesome gifs and memes on X. Follow me on Rumble and on YouTube so that way you'll know when the show gets on the air. I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Most of you, it's the last day of work for 2 weeks, so it's going to be a great day for you. It's going to be a great day for all of us because I'm finally going to get the confession from me as far as being a Catholic. Be able to get the confession tomorrow morning, so that's super awesome. But I will talk to you all tomorrow. Y'all stay safe out there. Stay ready. And as always, free Dexter Taylor.